Number 1. The Boy Who Lived. For trauma kinks. Harry Potter may be the chosen one, but really he's the patron saint of trauma bonding. From day one, he's raised in a cupboard under the stairs, emotionally neglected, and starved for affection. That's not just backstory. That's the origin story of a man destined to confuse pain for intimacy. Think about it. Harry doesn't just have enemies, he's obsessed with them. Voldemort literally lives rent-free in his head. Every vision, every scar twinge, every he's near moment is basically magical edging. Tell me that lightning bolt scar isn't a built-in shock collar that keeps him tethered to his abuser. That's not heroism. It's Stockholm Syndrome, with extra steps. Even when Harry does find connection, it's usually tied to danger. His best friendships are forged in near-death situations. His romances spark in broom closet chaos, Quidditch injuries, or the looming threat of murder. Harry doesn't know how to exist without danger because danger is foreplay. His kink isn't saving the world, it's bleeding for it. So yeah, The Boy Who Lived is accurate. But more specifically, he's the boy who learned to get off on trauma. And that sets the tone for literally every obsession, fetish, and twisted bond in the wizarding world. 2. Hermione and the obsession with control. Hermione Granger might be the brightest witch of her age, but underneath that frizzy hair and encyclopedic brain is someone whose kink is pure control. She doesn't just like order, she gets off on it, correcting your grammar. That's foreplay. Beating you on an exam. That's aftercare. She runs on domination disguised as helpfulness. Study groups aren't study groups. They're cult meetings where Hermione is the all-knowing priestess. And if you dare challenge her, she'll verbally spank you with a 10-point deduction and a smug little smirk. That's Dom energy with a Hogwarts robe. Even her social justice crusade with SPEW wasn't entirely altruistic. It was Hermione playing God. I know what's best for you and you'll thank me later. House elves didn't ask for liberation. She just shoved it down their throats like it was homework. At her core, Hermione doesn't fantasize about freedom. She fantasizes about running the entire game. And the scary part, you'd probably let her. 3. Ron Weasley, the ultimate submissive energy. Ron Weasley has big golden retriever energy. Loyal, goofy, and always hungry. But under all that, he's a natural sub. He doesn't want control, he wants direction. Tell him what to do, pat his head when he does it right. And maybe feed him after. He'll be yours forever. Look at his track record. He follows Harry into danger like an obedient sidekick. Lets Hermione boss him around for 7 straight years. And when he does try to rebel, like storming off during the Horcrux hunt, he comes crawling back with the desperation of a guy who can't last a week without mommy telling him what's for dinner. It's not independence, it's bratty sub-behaviour. Even in romance, Ron fumbles and freezes until Hermione practically climbs over the desk and kisses him. That's not seduction. It's training wheels. Ron doesn't chase. He waits to be chosen. He's not built to dominate, he's built to be dominated. And honestly, it fits him like a collar. 4. Draco Malfoy. Humiliation as a lifestyle. Draco Malfoy struts around Hogwarts like he's hot shit, but let's be real. His entire personality is humiliation kink in disguise. He talks big, he sneers, he flexes daddy's money, and then Harry clowns him every single year. Public embarrassment, constant, getting slammed by teachers, outshined in Quidditch, mocked by literally everyone except Crabbe and Goyle. That's Draco's bread and butter. And here's the thing, he needs it. Draco feeds off the humiliation like it's a drug. Every time Harry beats him, it's not just rivalry, it's Draco's weird little foreplay. Why else would he be so obsessed with Harry? That's not just an enemy, that's his dom. Even Voldemort humiliates him, handing him impossible tasks, watching him squirm, dangling approval he'll never get. And what does Draco do? He keeps coming back for more. That's not loyalty, it's masochism. Draco's entire arc screams, "Please degrade me harder." He thrives on being the pretty boy punching bag. And deep down, he likes it. The Malfoy family crest should honestly just be a leash. 5. Snape and the masochism of eternal pining. Severus Snape is the poster child for masochism. His whole life is one long exercise in suffering, and he clings to it like it's his kink. He's obsessed with Lily Evans, his childhood crush, so much that decades after she marries someone else and dies, he's still whispering always like a goth teenager, writing sad poetry in a diary. That's not romance, that's emotional self-flagellation. And he doesn't stop there. Snape builds his entire identity around pain. He lets himself be Voldemort's whipping boy, lets Dumbledore treat him like a pawn, and voluntarily spends every day surrounded by kids who hate him. Why? Because for Snape, suffering is foreplay. Every sneer, every insult, every late-night potion brewing session alone is just him leaning into his masochistic lifestyle. Even in teaching, he chooses cruelty. It's projection. If he has to hurt, everyone else will too. Snape isn't secretly tender. He's a man who gets off on pain, his own and everyone else's. Eternal pining, eternal punishment. It's not love, it's kink, wrapped in greasy hair and self-loathing. 6. Voldemort. Narcissism with a side of power play. Voldemort doesn't just want control, he wants to be worshipped. This man is kinked out on power the way Harry's hooked on trauma. Every Death Eater mask, just leather play for his ego. Every dramatic entrance, exhibitionism with a snake fetish on the side. Let's be real, Voldemort is basically the dom of the entire wizarding world. Except instead of safe words, it's Avada Kedavra. His obsession isn't just ruling, it's being adored. He splits his soul into 7 pieces, just so people can never get rid of him. That's not ambition. That's obsessive, narcissistic self-love so extreme, it makes OnlyFans creators look humble. He doesn't want partners, he wants servants. He doesn't want intimacy, he wants complete surrender. And yet, Voldemort's biggest kink is denial. He can't even handle the word love. He recoils from it like garlic to a vampire, because deep down he knows if he ever actually felt it, he'd lose the only thing that gets him off. Domination. 7. Dumbledore's obsession with the Chosen One. Dumbledore's relationship with Harry is less mentor and student, and more old man grooming his favourite pawn. He's obsessed, not with Harry the boy, but with Harry the symbol. Every cryptic clue, every half-truth, every "I'll tell you when you're older" moment is just Dumbledore playing puppet master. And let's be honest, he gets off on it. Harry isn't just the chosen one. He's Dumbledore's pet project, the ultimate long con. The old man builds entire battle strategies around Harry's trauma, like it's a chess match, sitting back smugly while his teenage pawn fights his war. It's not mentorship, it's obsession. Dumbledore doesn't want to save Harry. He wants to mould him, control him, and ultimately sacrifice him for the greater good. That's not guidance, that's a fetish for manipulation. The twinkle in his eye? Yeah, that's just the thrill of puppeteering a child soldier. 8. House elves. The dark fantasy of servitude. House elves are hands down the kinkiest metaphor in the wizarding world, and not in a cute way. They're literal magical beings bred to serve, bound by spells that force obedience. It's not just labour, it's servitude with a built-in fetish for punishment. They beg for orders, they punish themselves when they misbehave, and they treat loyalty like a sacred bondage contract. Tell me that doesn't scream BDSM gone wrong. Wizards don't just exploit them, they normalise it. A society full of robed aristocrats who think enslaved beings are just how things are. That's not world building, that's systemic fetishization. And Dobby, he's the sub who finally breaks free, except instead of safe words, he gets socks. Hermione's obsession with liberating them almost makes sense. She's kink-shaming an entire culture. But the dark truth is, house elves exist as a living fantasy of unconditional servitude. And the wizarding world is way too comfortable getting off on that power dynamic. 9. The sorting hat. Voyeurism in your head. The sorting hat isn't just a magical object, it's the creepiest voyeur in the castle. Think about it. The second you put it on, it's digging through your deepest thoughts, your darkest fantasies, your secret insecurities. That's not guidance. That's mental voyeurism with zero consent. And it doesn't just read you, it talks back. The hat whispers in your ear, pushes its agenda, teases you with the possibility of another house, all while knowing every embarrassing crush and late-night fantasy you've ever had. That's not sorting, it's dirty talk with a captive audience. Even worse, the hat decides your entire social identity in under a minute, then brags about it. It's like a horny psychic who gets off on labeling people and leaving them to live out the consequences. Hogwarts sells it as tradition, but really, it's just one big fetish for getting inside people's heads and never letting go. 10. Polyjuice potion, identity play, and transformation. Kink. Polyjuice potion is basically magical roleplay lube. You drink it, and suddenly you're wearing someone else's body like a custom-made fetish suit. It's the ultimate identity kink, slipping into a new skin, trying on their voice, their face, their entire vibe. Hogwarts calls it advanced potion making. We call it full-on transformation play. Think about it. Barty Crouch Jr. spends an entire year as Mad-Eye Moody, living out a teacher roleplay fantasy so convincingly that no one notices. Hermione turns into Bellatrix to break into Gringotts, and let's be real, that's dominatrix cosplay if there ever was one. Even Harry and Ron use it just to sneak around bathrooms like awkward voyeurs. The danger is half the thrill. You only get an hour before the magic fades, so every transformation is a race against time, like kinky speed dating with body parts. Polyjuice isn't just a potion, it's the wizarding world's wettest dream of identity swapping, fantasy roleplay, and taboo curiosity. 11th Horcruxes, the obsession with never letting go. Horcruxes are the ultimate hoarding kink. Voldemort doesn't just want power, he wants to spread pieces of himself around like cursed sex toys no one asked for. Each object becomes an anchor, a way of saying, "You'll never get rid of me, baby." That's not immortality, it's obsessive attachment on steroids. It's the most toxic relationship imaginable. Voldemort and Voldemort. Splitting your soul 7 times isn't ambition, it's self-fetishization. He can't just exist as one being, he has to be everywhere, inside everything, clinging tighter than your worst ex. Destroying a Horcrux isn't just magic, it's break-up sex with fireworks. The screaming, the pain, the melodrama, pure kink-coded climax. Horcruxes prove that Voldemort's deepest obsession isn't power or fear, it's himself. And honestly, he's the clingiest dom the wizarding world's ever seen. 12. Death Eaters and the Cult of Pain. The Death Eaters aren't just Voldemort's army, they're his BDSM fan club. Black robes, masks, secret tattoos that burn when daddy calls. That's not politics, that's a fetish uniform. They don't just follow him, they worship him, branding themselves with the dark mark like it's the world's most toxic collar. Pain is their love language. Torture isn't a side gig, it's foreplay. Bellatrix Lestrange practically orgasms every time she screams Crucio, proving she's less a soldier and more a full-time pain slut. And the rest of them? They stick around because nothing bonds people like group sadism. What makes it worse is the ritual of it all. The chanting, the meetings, the theatrical entrances. It's not just about killing muggles, it's about belonging to a cult where pain and fear equal intimacy. The Death Eaters don't fight for Voldemort, they submit to him. 13. Hagrid. The gentle giant with a monster fetish. Hagrid is pure cinnamon roll energy, wrapped in a 7-foot-tall frame with a dangerous kink for giant deadly creatures. Dragons, 3-headed dogs, murderous spiders. If it could kill him, Hagrid wanted to cuddle it. That's not just liking animals, that's a fetish for danger disguised as a love of pets. Every year he's like, "Don't tell anyone, but I'm raising a lethal beast in my hut." And every year the trio gets dragged into his monster kink against their will. It's not nurturing, it's obsession. He doesn't just want companionship, he wants creatures so wild they could crush him in one paw. That's less care of magical creatures and more, "Please step on me." Hagrid's real kink. Being the gentle dom to things far bigger and scarier than him. Call it monster play. Call it danger porn. Either way, Hagrid's love life is basically a bestiary of bad decisions. 14. Harry and Ginny. Mommy issues in disguise. Harry and Ginny's romance looks sweet on the surface, but peel it back, and it's a Freudian nightmare. Harry doesn't just fall for Ginny. He falls for the girl who's basically a carbon copy of his mum. Red hair, fierce loyalty, fiery temper. Ginny is Lily 2.0, and Harry dives in like it's comfort food for his unresolved trauma. And Ginny. She's been obsessed with Harry since childhood. This isn't casual flirting, it's fangirl fixation that somehow evolves into marriage. She writes about him in diaries, daydreams about him for years, and then suddenly gets her wish. That's not a love story. That's obsession rewarded. So what's really happening here? Harry finds a safe mommy replacement, and Ginny fulfills her chosen one fantasy. It's codependency wrapped in domestic bliss, proving that even the healthy relationships in Harry Potter are kink-coded. This one just happens to look wholesome, until you say it out loud. 15th, Hogwarts itself. A fetish for secrets. Hogwarts isn't just a school, it's a living, breathing kink dungeon disguised as education. The staircases move without warning, the walls whisper, the portraits spy on you, and there's a literal chamber built for a basilisk under the bathroom. That's not architecture. It's voyeurism with a side of sadism. Every corner of Hogwarts feeds on secrecy. The Room of Requirement is basically a magical fetish closet. It gives you whatever you want, whenever you want it. No questions asked. The Forbidden Forest? That's Danger Place Central, luring students into creatures, curses, and near-death encounters, like it's an initiation ritual. Even the bathrooms can't just be bathrooms. They're entry points to hell beasts and ghost drama. The truth is, Hogwarts doesn't teach children. It toys with them. The school itself gets off on watching kids stumble through puzzles, traps, and forbidden knowledge. Hogwarts isn't safe. It's a voyeur, a dom, and the kinkiest character in the entire series.